bhakti means freedom. Bhakti means freedom. And bhakti is the process of freedom. Because when we practice bhakti, our heart becomes softer and softer and softer. And when you practice bhakti, your heart becomes soft, so it's easy to forgive others and to beg for forgiveness. If you don't practice bhakti, it's very hard to forgive and to ask for forgiveness. Because through the practice of bhakti, we're able to give up our false egos. And I'm sure Monique knows what is false ego. False ego is it's very interesting because it is derived over long periods of time in contact with material energies. The more we associate with the material energy, bigger the false ego. And that false ego, it does not fit with the beautiful constitutional nature of the self, of the soul. When you go to the mall, you want to buy clothes. We go into a store and we buy clothes and we look at, say, someone like Heidi Klum, and we buy her clothes and Madonna's clothesline, and we want to be like them. So we forget who we are. When they advertise, then we want to buy clothes that is advertised by Madonna, by Heidi Klum, or some other celebrities. Constantly we are shopping for something to be someone. And then, thank you, nice to see you, Krista. And then we go to the shoe store, and then we find the shoes advertised by some other celebrity, and we want to be like that celebrity. So we buy that kind of brand of shoes. Then we walk around and we see a model with beautiful hair. Then we go into the store and we buy a certain kind of shampoo so our hair can look like that model. And then we go to a glass store, and then you see another model with a certain kind of glass frame. And then we pick a glass frame that looks like that model. And then finally we see a restaurant, and we see the beautiful menu, and we see the picture of a healthy person with a big smile welcoming you. We want to be like that person, so we go and eat in the restaurant. Or you see a TV ad with a man with a big burger in his hand, with a big smile biting into the burger, and you think, oh, I want to be like that person. So you go and eat in the restaurant. After buying all the clothes, all the shoes, or the hair products and the nail products, we realize that, oh, Ingrid has a better looking clothes. And we see Beatrice, her hair is so beautiful and curly, better than mine. And we see Daniela's sunglasses are so beautiful, better than mine. So in this way, we forget who we are, completely forget who we are. And we don't even recognize ourselves. You look into the mirror, you don't even see you. You see that movie star, that Madonna, that Heidi Klum, and you see all this dress and all this hair and everything, but you don't even see you. So in this way, we completely forget who we are, and we become so lost trying to be someone else. So all this being someone else, the false identity that we carry and live our lives through, it is called false ego. And so that's why it's such a big, important part of life to find ourselves, that we must move forward by finding ourselves and forgiving the people who have given us bags to carry, and forgiving ourselves, because we forgive others, but we forget to forgive ourselves for years and years of difficulty and abuse that we go through in our life and we subject ourselves to. And the mind is going in 10,000 places at the same time. It is never with you. If it is not gone to this vacation, that vacation, with that woman, with other men, or some shopping or eating, your mind, if it doesn't go to these places, then it goes to the different emotions of sadness, loneliness, unhappiness. But the mind is constantly active, going somewhere but oneself. So it's important, this process of forgiveness, that everyone, first, we must learn to forgive others. Make that phone call, ask for forgiveness, and forgive others. If you're holding some grudge against someone, you can beg for forgiveness, or you can forgive yourself as well for sometimes carrying on something that doesn't belong to you for far too long. Say, for example, Bodwa, pushed me when I was 5 years old when we were going to school together. Now we're, 90 years old, and we are still holding grudge against each other. It's a very long time to carry unnecessary hatred, anger, jealousy, animosity. When you hold some bad ill feelings towards others for such long periods of time, it starts to have very bad smell, very bad odor, because these qualities are not good fragrances. So it smells, it stinks, and nobody wants to be around you. If you're a grumpy person, angry person, miserable person, then it's very hard to make friends, because those qualities, they have a very bad smell. So much so, if one person doesn't want to associate with you, they'll tell another person, hey, don't hang out with Bodwa. He's always speaking bad about others. And then when Daniela will tell Ramananda will tell someone else, more and more we become isolated. Has anyone ever had this kind of experience? You become isolated. You don't want to associate with people who are always speaking negative about others. So I want to tell you some story, but we don't have too much time. Does anyone have any questions on this? The importance of just getting rid of your, whatever it is, life is so short. It is so short. You just have to just go and find the person that you have hurt and say, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. The important part is for you to let go. If they want to hold their hatred, it's their problem. Well, I give you an example.
Je te donne un exemple.
When you come with me to Vrindavan, you will see lots and lots of monkeys everywhere. If you look at the monkeys, they get angry. They all make faces at you. But if you don't look at them, you just go about your business, nothing happens. They just leave you alone. So in life, when you ask someone for forgiveness, you have to do what you have to do, because you need to get it off your chest and let go of that unnecessary baggage. So you always beg for forgiveness. And it is up to them whether or not they forgive you. But you
Alors,
focus on your thing. Forgiveness has to be very specific. In the
donc,
course that I gave 3-4 sessions, it has to be very, very specific. You don't just say, I'm sorry. That it's not an
non.
apology. Yeah, but sometimes you may not have so much time. Say, for example, I leave the material world tomorrow and my time has come and I'm coming to beg your forgiveness and you don't forgive me. But at least in my heart is clear. I can go tomorrow. I can go in peace. You'll be the one who's going to have to carry the baggage that I didn't forgive him when he left the world. I don't have a chance now. So yeah, at every opportunity, we always we should always acknowledge our mistakes and be very quick to acknowledge and ask for forgiveness, and not let it linger on for long periods of time. You'll feel very light. Sometimes it's so deep, the injury is so deep, it's so hard to forgive. And it's been so long we carry the bags. The longer we carry, the harder to give it up.
C'est
Because
une très
you're
belle question.
associated with it so intimately. For example, you and your son, you spend so much time together. Can you forget each other? It's hard to forget. Similarly, if you carry some hatred for someone and you're constantly thinking about that person, what you're doing is that hatred, that emotion, you're becoming more and more and more attached to that emotion.
Yeah.
So in yoga, I'll give you very, very simple technique. And the technique is every single morning when you wake up, you should take a journal and you should write at least 10 things that you are grateful for every day of your life. And the second thing you do is all the person that have hurt you the most, that you have so much hatred or anger or resentment towards, you take some flowers or some incense and you put a picture of them and you offer them. Just like you worship Krishna, you worship the people that have hurt you the most. Then you'll be able to very easily in your heart be able to forgive this person. Because one of the hardest thing to do, every time you see their face, you have so much anger and hatred for someone. But when you start worshiping them, it'll be hard initially, but it shows yourself looking at them every day, worshiping them. You will notice there is something that very unique that will happen inside of you, that you'll be very easy to get over all the suffering and pain caused by this person. Because what you're actually doing through this process is that these very people that have hurt you the most, if you are able to find extract the virtue and the essence of why they hurt you the most, they are the very people who are the pillars of your success today. And because you're worshiping them every day with flowers and incense, Krishna will see that, and the divine will provide a very beautiful, beautiful way for you to realize all the beautiful lessons you have learned from that particular struggle. You'll be very easily able to find how your most difficult, adverse situation was the time when you actually started to grow as a person and your perspective became more and more clearer. When you're driving on the road, if your windshield is dirty, you cannot see properly. They cannot see you, you cannot see outside. So it's really hard to drive.
Lorsque
Right?
vous conduisez, pardon.
So therefore, you need to clean the glass so you can see properly and you can drive properly. If there is anger and hatred and jealousy and other not very good fragrances, then you're not going to be able to see properly and make proper judgments in your life. So therefore, our daily sadhana and asking for gratitude and forgiving, every day making the list of people we need to forgive. Mm. And if you don't have the strength to forgive them, you ask Krishna, Krishna, please help me to forgive this person. Our biggest challenge is to understand that we don't understand. Because what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, what we can see is with our eyes, and what we can hear is very second-hand, third-hand news that is with a vested interest from both parties. Similarly, when there is certain attitude that people carry with, it is something that we don't really know where that attitude is coming from. Maybe we had an experience with them. They probably are really suffering and having so many own issues. And if you let their issues disturb us, then it's very unfortunate because they're the ones that are having problem. Why should we be affected by it? If we are simply focusing on making sure we have boundaries, we don't let those fireworks, we don't have to interface with people who carry that energy, then we can safeguard our heart and prevent any kind of disturbance. So
Quando,
boundaries is important, and to keep distance from such people. They say in America that good boundaries makes good neighbors. So if you're if someone doesn't treat you nice, you just put boundaries, then you can actually be civil with them.